And I, like many people, I mean, look, there was over 1,000 people in minutes on a Monday afternoon on the corporate call just a couple of days ago. We're still in pre-launch. And right now, last minute, there's close to 90 people on this Zoom. So if I'm going to go ahead, let me go ahead, Eric, if you can unmute yourself and come on in and maybe share what you saw, how you were approached, how you got started, and what you see in this opportunity, that would be great.
Vince, thanks for having me on, buddy. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I really appreciate you. And so take it away, pal. Thanks.
You don't say no to Vince and Frank, man. They'll make you pay. But no, I love Vince. I might like Vince even more than Frank. Don't tell Frank that if he's on here. But guys, thanks for jumping on. I was at an amusement park. It's called Kings Island yesterday with the whole family. My cookies are crumbled, man. I can't handle those big rides. So I'm getting my voice back, getting my equilibrium back. But I just appreciate you jumping on here. Just so you know, in case you care about me, I'm in Zionsville, Indiana. That's why I talk a little funny. Super busy. I run a lot of traditional businesses. I got a foundation that my wife and I are passionate about. I do have a wife, 4 kids, dog, all that. So just like many of you, super busy. I took a look at this finally, kind of like Vince. I slow played my dear friend, John McKillop, who's our company's managing director. And when I took a look at it, I just said, man, this could be really, really special, disruptive. It can bless a lot of people. So I'm having more fun than I've had in a long time, professionally, even personally, meeting amazing people. I love the relationship side of this business when it's done the right way. And I jumped on a plane on my own time, dime, flew out, met with the founders, and just fell in love with their heart and integrity. So I'll let the cat out of the bag. Appreciate all of you who are guests jumping on last minute here, but we'll show you 2 main things in the next 15 minutes. Number one, which as Vince alluded to, is kind of a no-brainer. We want to show every household in America a way to truly double their buying power. So I'm confident you're all going to participate that way. And then we'll show you an optional financial opportunity that I think you'll get really excited about if you're a pioneer, if you're a visionary, if you've been kind of looking, praying for something that makes sense, if you got one more run in you, maybe you've never had a run in a home-based business, definitely would love for you to just pay attention here. So when we talk about Tranzact card, we always start off talking about banking, which is boring, cold, callous. I don't know about you. I can't stand big banks for sure. At the same time, as entrepreneurs, we know that trends are our friends. And with Tranzact card, we're not only going to disrupt the way people think about banking, we're going to disrupt e-commerce, charitable giving, fundraising, a whole lot of other industries. But specific to banking, if you look at the evolution of banking, going from the barter system to brick and mortar to the internet banking phenomenon, the big buzzword you'll hear more and more about is this idea of FINMO banking, which is financial momentum banking. And essentially all that means is showing people a way to take a dollar, stretch its value as far as possible within a financial ecosystem. And that's what Tranzact card is. It's a high-tech, secure financial ecosystem. And we work directly with community banks all across the country. We want to uplift those community banks that are FDIC insured. We work with a lot of minority-owned banks. And here's the goal. As Vinny alluded to, we just want to get this Visa debit card. This is our Tranzact card, approved by Visa, into the hands of as many households as possible in the next couple of years. I think we'll have millions, if not tens of millions of people who get a card. And I think you'll see why. So the first thing to understand is when you get a Tranzact card, you're going to go through a quick federal KYC, that's know your customer regulated process, in order to set up an FDIC insured checking account with one of our community banking partners. And then you can load as little or as much money as you want. If you're super skeptical, cautious, totally cool, just put 10 bucks, 20 bucks in there. All right. You can put as much as you want in there. And then you can link up to 5 of these cards to your account. I've got one for my wife. I've got one for my 13-year-old, my 12-year-old, and my 8-year-old daughter, who thinks she's pretty cool because she's got a Tranzact card that I've set to a 10 limit per day spend. All right. So you can activate, deactivate, set limits on those. And then the question is, why, Eric, why would I use this Tranzact card? Who's this Tom Brady looking want to be coming on here trying to convince me to use a different card? Well, here's why. Because when you use this Tranzact card, you're going to get a one-to-one dual currency within our ecosystem. We call those a Z-Buck. It's not a crypto. It's just a coupon that has real value dollar to dollar within our ecosystem. And it's pretty easy to understand, right? It's one-to-one. You go and gas up your car for $70. You use your Tranzact card. You get 70 Z-Bucks, you get a text notification, email notification, you see the real-time transactions accruing, you see your Z-Bucks accruing. You go to Costco like I do once a week, spend $500, you get 500 Z-Bucks, pay your utility bill, go Starbucks, date night, groceries, whatever. Okay. Everything that you're used to spend on now, we want you to use your Tranzact card. And then the biggest question that we all should ask is, what can I do with a Z-Buck? Well, you take the Z-Buck and you're gonna be able to apply that to eventually millions and millions of your favorite product SKUs that are going to be housed inside our very own e-commerce platform. We call that Z Club. That'll fully launch here by November 12th, probably beforehand. I see my buddy Orcon on here. It better be before then. So you're basically, let's say you see your favorite shoes. They're $100 on Amazon. They're $100 on Foot Locker. They're $100 wherever. They're $100 on our Z Club. We go right to the manufacturers, the suppliers. We say, look, we're going to pay you cash immediately. You don't have to wait 90 to 120 days like you do with Amazon. They love that. We're going to bake in just a little margin, not the 3X, 5X, 12X markup. So you get those $100 shoes, you apply 50 Z-Bucks, you just save $50. You get it for 50% off. Now, the best credit card I have in my wallet is my American Express. It gives me 3.5% cash back on all my purchases. That's assuming my wife or I remember to pay it off at the end of the month. Otherwise, we get whacked with 22.9% APR. Just off that one spend in that example, I say $50. That's awesome. Now compound that over millions of your favorite product SKUs, getting down to the real power of this, showing a single mom how to use those Z-Bucks to get diapers or formula and just really stretch those dollars further. And again, friends, what did they have to do in order to get Z-Bucks? They didn't have to do anything different. They just went out and bought the things that they were going to buy anyway. Frank's always beating me up like, this better not be generic stuff from like overseas. I'm like, no, it's going to be all your favorite name brand items you would expect and want to see on there. Now, to make it really fun and engaging, every day now we're doing these flash sales. The difference with flash sales is your cash isn't good at all. You use all your Z-Bucks to pay for the entire price of those items. Could be sunglasses, purses, laptops. Here's some of the ones we've already had. In fact, I just got this a couple of weeks ago. It's a wireless Bose speaker. This retails for $129 on Amazon. I used 117 Z-Bucks. I paid $8 shipping and handling. My wife's like, why did you get that? We don't need it. I'm like, oh, it's basically free. I got the Nike duffel bag, backpack. You got Power Beats Pro. We've been doing phones, electric bikes, computer bags, a lot of cool stuff each day. First come, first serve. They go quick. They're kind of the beta test now, but we're getting a lot of people that are getting their hands on those Z Club items. My favorite part's going to be our Z Club trips. Imagine swiping your way to your next vacation, doing a cruise takeover. The only way you get on a cruise is using Z-Bucks to get an interior cabin all the way up to the presidential suite. We'll do resort takeovers. That's going to be really, really hot. And then once we officially launch in November, we're going to activate a Power Save account. Our company's all about being a social impact enterprise. So we want to enhance financial literacy across our country, eventually across the world, and show people a way to really grow a nice nest egg. This is tied to the company's public REIT or real estate investment trusts. Those tend to average about 8%. No guarantees, but definitely higher than any bank account. And there'll be different ways to add to your Power Save account. You can choose to round up each purchase similar to Acorn app, Chime, you've seen some of those where round up the nearest whole dollar, that difference goes into your Power Save account. Z Forward's really cool because it encourages us to use our Z-Bucks on the Z Club. So for every 100 Z-Bucks you use, $2 cash is going to go into your Power Save account. And then my favorite one's the Tranzact back feature, where we partnered up with hundreds, eventually thousands of your favorite retailers, fast food, dining establishments. Let's say you go to Olive Garden, you have a $100 tab, use your Tranzact card to get 100 Z-Bucks. Let's say we have a 3% cashback agreement with Olive Garden, then just automatically $3 cash from that bill would go into your Power Save account. So this is an ancillary benefit, guys, but you can see over, 5-10 years, that can really compound nicely and give so many more Americans a nice nest egg. Here's what makes it a no-brainer. It's $25. $25 gets you a Tranzact card. If you join before November 12th, you never, ever pay the renewal fees. We just lowered the renewals to $25, by the way. So anybody that joins after November 12th, they would just pay $25 on their anniversary date, get 500 more Z-Bucks, and get you everything I just talked about. As soon as you make your first transaction, it could be 50 cents. You get 500 Z-Bucks loaded into your account to start using on the platform, use on the flash sales. And to really sweeten it for the pioneers and visionaries, anybody that joins before November 12th, you're going to start doubling your Z-Bucks starting right away, all the way till November 2024. So that's why guys like me have over 100,000 Z-Bucks in their accounts. Once we officially launch, card members can refer their friends, their family, neighbors, anybody to get a Tranzact card. Every time you make a referral, you get 500 Z-Bucks. If you're friends of Vinny and you don't love your Tranzact card, you get the Eric Allen money back guarantee. I'll just send you $25 in a few weeks, few months, year. It doesn't matter, and you'll be made whole. But I haven't had to do that. I doubt that'll happen. Here's kind of our 3 core pillars of our distribution system. I talked about Tranzact card members and their referrals they'll be able to make. The entrepreneurial opportunity kicks in now. We are obviously looking for pioneers, visionaries, servant leaders that want to answer the call to leadership, own their own digital branch office. If you're one of the next 6,000 people that get their own digital branch office, you're going to benefit from that third part, our national influencers. We have some top political organizations, top charities, entertainers, athletes. They've already contracted with us. They are not DBOs, but they're going to help push out millions and millions of Tranzact cards. And if you're one of the next 6,000 that join, you get a match program that Vinny and the other leaders can talk about, where those customers get linked to your digital branch office. If you want to own a digital branch office, and our goal is to call this a true franchise by the time we launch, we're going through all the franchise law components right now. It's $495 one time. Starting in November, it's going to be $150 a month for your franchise fee. The first question, I'm going to stop right there. People want to know, how do I get that $500 back? All you got to do is go sponsor 3 others who catch the vision, want to own their own digital branch office. As soon as you sponsor 3, that starts right now. You know, it takes you a day, a year. As soon as you get your 3rd one, you get a $500 cash rebate. And then you eliminate your $150 a month franchise fee. So everybody that joins now, you basically got 4 months to go partner with 3 others, get $500, and then never have to pay the $150 a month. Now, what does it really get you? Here's the power of this. There's a whole lot of other compensation bonuses. You got guys like Frank and others that, I mean, they already have a comma in their weekly commission checks, which is great. The real power, though, is this slide right here. And if this really clicks for you, you're gonna have a hard time sleeping. I've always said the holy grail of entrepreneurship is, if somebody finds out a way for us to get paid each and every time the people in our communities and networks are out making the purchases that they want or have to make multiple times a day for the rest of their lives. And because of Tranzact Card's relationship with Visa and the community banks, we're able to pay out those interchange fees throughout 10 generations of digital branch offices. So it's usually going to be 15 to 20 basis points on every swipe, which may not seem like a lot, but I mean, 6 cents here, 12 cents here, 27 cents here off every single swipe, off every single person that's making a transaction. It becomes really powerful. So let's say I bring in Mark brings in Frank brings in Vinny brings in Rob brings in Rick brings in 50 customers. We're all getting paid off those swipes, right? 10, 15, 20, 25 basis points. All right. So really powerful. I know we have a lot of networkers here. Networkers tend to get the power of leverage. Obviously, a great goal is to get you to the rank of what we call manager, which means you personally sponsored 3 other DBOs, and you can sponsor 10, you can sponsor as many as you want. They're going to bring in all their own customers. They might bring in some other DBOs as well to just kind of enhance that customer base. So a great time to really capture a lot of that market share for what I think will be just literally millions and millions of Tranzact card members. We'll save that for the end. So we just always say, get back with the person that invited you. You know, there's no hype here. There's no pressure. I tell people, look, if you tend to be a little skeptical or you need to see more, that's totally cool. Just come in, pay $25. You can do that today, become a Tranzact card member and get your card activated and start earning Z-Bucks. Now's a great time for the pioneers and visionaries. I caution this, though. I just really have worked hard, as have the rest of the leaders on here, to build a really awesome culture. We had about 45 vice presidents out in Provo, Utah last weekend for our first VP Leadership Summit. Very diverse group of people, but just really, really good human beings. So trying to build a really fun, transparent culture that supports people. We want to take the hype and the sleaze out of it. So if you're a good human, I don't even care if you're a big builder. Just if you're a good human, we'd love for you to come in and help co-create this leadership foundation, have a voice here, and just have an influence on the direction of our company. So I'm fired up. Again, we've gone from myself to about 15,000 people in our ecosystem, about 8,500 DBOs, a lot of TCMs coming in every day now since we opened that up. And would love to welcome you to the Tranzact card family in whatever way makes the most sense to you. So Vinny, I'll kick it back over to you. If you want to bring a couple of our favorite friends on so they hear from somebody besides me, that'd be great.
That'd be great. Listen, great job as always, Eric. We appreciate your leadership. And, this comes at a time when the world is looking for a way to stretch their buying power, right? We see what's happening in this world. This could not come at a better time. I'm going to go ahead and into the group here, and I'm going to grab a couple of folks, if that's okay, folks that have already started with this business and using the card. And if I may, Larry, would that be okay if I brought you on a second? Shelly as well. Is that I would believe Shelly. Can you unmute yourself? Larry, are you there? Or
hey, Andy, do you have a cap of 100 people on this Zoom?
I don't know if I do. I don't think I do, actually. So I'll keep it.
I got some people very upset they can't get in.
Well, they're bouncing in and out. It's like this. So I had it. So I just let another one in. So I get it. A lot of work behind the scenes here to let all these folks in the middle of the day, right? So Larry, if you would share what you think the folks need to hear. You've been in the business space for so many years. What do you see here?
Yeah, absolutely. This is my 35th year in network marketing. I started very, very early, but one thing I'm seeing about this one, I've done everything, all the products, all the nutrition, those are great. I'm not knocking those, but the one thing about this one is when you're talking to somebody, everybody is already swiping a debit card or a credit card. They know what they're doing. They're not getting any rewards when they do it. So we've got a $25 option, and the company has made this so easy for us to share it. They have presentations every day. They have trainings every week. But really, when you break it down to the card, I saw people in some of the groups today, and they were like, I can't share it. I can't get anybody to get the card. It's a card that doubles somebody's buying power. You just have to kind of slow down and just tell people exactly what it is. They're going to understand I'm spending $3,000 a month in bills anyway. So now all I have to do is use that Tranzact card, and you're telling me I'm going to get double rewards. So I'm going to get $6,000 worth of Z-Bucks, and I can literally go spend that dollar 2 more times. I can turn right back around to the Z and spend the same dollar twice. Nobody's going to say no to that if they really understand what it is. So I've got people in the team. There's so many groups on here. People are having success. This is something that everybody needs. This is something that eventually millions of people are going to be using this card. You just got to get in front of it and get your piece of the pie. So I'm just excited to be here. The teams are duplicating, and the company's got the new replicated websites coming out. They've got the AI funnel systems. They've literally made it. All you have to do is send a link, and this is going to duplicate. So they've made it almost foolproof. So I love everything about this company.
Larry, hey buddy, I hope Vinny doesn't mind me taking the controls here, but hey, I mean, you got you got a higher rank than me, and I encourage you to do it. That's what I love about this business, right? But I think one thing that you can shed light on is we don't have any of the fancy marketing funnel. We got so much cool technology coming, but people are asking us as leaders, how are you guys duplicating so quick? Can you just talk about some of the people on your team? I mean, they've literally, like me, they have never had any success in any home-based business, but they're getting their 3 right away because the truth is good enough. They're just sharing the story and it makes sense to the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's honestly because the times we're in right now, so many people are looking for something to help their family. And I've said it from day one, you've got a family that's struggling just to pay their bills every month. Well, now when they pay that same $2,000, they've got $4,000 worth of Z-Bucks, and they can go in, maybe book a cruise, maybe get a computer for their family, stuff that they would have never been able to do. So it's so simple, but everybody's just looking for it. And all you got to do is share it. But I've had people that have never made money in this industry. When you start to share things and people follow you and they're not making money, but I've got people getting that $500 rebate check. Then I've got people that write me and say, hey, I just got $100. What happened? Where did that come from? And 2 managers got developed under their team. So they're helping everybody get their 3, but I'm just plugging my teams into the corporate stuff. I've never been part of a company where there's so many presentations, there's so many trainings, there's so many update calls. Just plug people into what's already there. All you got to do is just share it. My team knows I get the information to them. They might not want it 5 times a day, but they get it. So
Excellent. Excellent.
Z-Bucks
So,
never, ever expire. They never expire, ever.
yeah, that was
Hey, Eric,
one of the, go ahead.
say one more. This was the most powerful thing. When we just got that Z Club, that new bonus that we're going to get 1.3%. This is every community. All teams are working together. We're building that Z Club, and that 1.3% of the gross sales, literally every single month, gets divided amongst the DBOs, the managers, the senior managers, the vice presidents, all the way around. That is the residual income that's going to grow and grow as the Z Club grows. The other residual income we've got is the transaction fees. Those are starting. We're getting paid this week on our first transaction fees. That's the residual income off your team that's going to grow. That's two. The third residual income off the same team is your DBO bonuses, where you have your qualified DBOs that are paying you $5 per DBO center in your digital branch. That's three residual incomes off of one team that you're building. So that's massive. Plus, you've got the manager bonuses, you've got the cab bonuses. This thing, there's a reason why these DBO positions max out at $2 million a month, and many people on this Zoom are going to absolutely hit that, and we deserve it.
Larry, you're going to scare them away with the 2 million a month cap.
Sorry.
By the way, the 2 million cap, whether you're a qualified DBO and you have 3 customers or you're a president, there's no caps at any of the ranks. So you could literally bring in 2 or 3 really influential marketers that put in thousands of Tranzact card members, and you can be in really good shape.
Absolutely. So, hey, James Young, you want to unmute yourself a second? Because I know, you, when you were approached like myself, were like, this makes too much sense. It's too good to be true, right? I mean, that's why we have questions. It's obvious. We all use Visa. We know what it is. We all buy stuff. We use debit. It's obvious. But what's your take on that? Because I know you're on the no sleep plan because you see this.
Yeah, Vin, thanks a lot. Well, like Vince said, somebody mentioned this concept to me, but I didn't get all the information, but I thought about what they were saying. And then when I got the information, I was a little annoyed, not because I thought it was a bad idea, but I thought it was too good to be true. When he went through that slide of customers, DBOs, influencers, I'm like, wait a second, a savings account, tied. I was just like, it's just too much. You're killing me. I met Eric and I got to ask him questions. My belief is building as I go, because I do have the card now. I received it 2 days ago. I got the Z-Bucks. And I just want to say this because I don't, it's so simple what's being said. You don't need a lot of hype. But one of the things that I noticed was while I was waiting for this card and I had this card, I was getting angry every time I used this card because I knew I wasn't getting anything. So like I went to Trader Joe's, I spent $200. I'm like, oh my God, that was $400 that I would have had that I didn't get because I didn't get this card yet. So knowing that, I think psychologically, this is going to make a difference for a lot of people. All right. So I am excited. The numbers that like Larry said, like, I know that's a big number, but I just think that this is going to make such a difference. First of all, to be proud to help people double their buying power is one thing. And the other thing is for people that are looking for freedom or the life that we really want to live that nobody talks about because we're all stressed out about the bills and inflation and money. This is definitely a huge possibility to handle that for a lot of people. So I appreciate the time just to come on and say something. Thanks, Vin.
Thanks, James. Appreciate you. Appreciate your leadership and appreciate your patience in getting your answers. So this is one of the reasons we have these overviews. We have these overviews. There's one at 3 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Eastern. There's the private Facebook group. So there's a lot of content. There's Telegram groups. Let me go ahead and bring on Shelly. Shelly, can you unmute yourself and see what you just share what you see in this opportunity? You're building a big organization. You're a professional in this space. So what do you see here? Why'd you stop everything and drop everything to do Tranzact card?
Well, the first thing is that Frank calls you. When Frank calls you, you stop everything and you, all right, you got to listen, especially if you live in Jersey and he can hunt you down. I don't have time for anything. I am maxed out. Actually, my business partner is on today listening to this, and we are the head of a global network that, I came in as a consultant, and Tranzact, from the minute I took a look at this, was already doing things that I advised my former other company to do. And I was like, oh my God, I've been begging for these types of systems, this type of process, this type of transparency, communication forever. And they're just doing it right off the bat. And we're in beta, you guys. It's growing so fast for a big reason. because it is the simplest thing. Everyone, my 4-year-old has her own Tranzact card. She loves swiping it. We're doing all this financial literacy with my kids, and it's been so much fun. But really, one of the things that touches me is, you know, when people introduce you and they're like, oh, she's a 7-8-figure earner, it's like almost embarrassing, because all it is like, okay, that's how much money has gone through a wallet. Great. But we have something called the Power Save account, and that actually sets people up to have something long term. And no other business that I've ever been a part of, no matter how much money I've made, actually did that. And they never set something aside that actually created that nest egg where people are able to save, regardless of what we have to spend, regardless of all the things that are happening. We're, you know, as Larry says, we're swiping, paying those bills anyway. We're just using a different card now, and we're getting all of these rewards. So much that comes along with that. But I just really love the power of this community, everyone helping. I mean, I bang Eric in the head at least 5-6 times a day, and he lovingly takes it and comes back with, you know, all the answers that I would hope for. And, you know, I know that I'm not the only one. Frank's not the only one that, you know, it's hitting him from all angles. But when you really bring something to these guys, they listen. You know, and it's not just like brushed under the rug, or, you know, they can't kind of forget about you or just block you and stop listening. It's not like that here. They really do want to make the end user experience that great. And it is, it's sticky. I shop online all of the time, and I'm like, you know, muscle memory. I used to just go to Amazon for things, and now I don't do that anymore. And I was really worried that would be like the sticking point, is would people want to come here instead of what they're used to. And honestly, it's so much more fun with Tranzact. I'm refreshing the screen a million times a day looking for those flash sales. You know, if $25 is too much of a risk for you, I don't know why you're even on this call, because I can tell you right now, you are going to fall in love with it like the rest of us, and you're going to want to share it with everybody you know. So get in, get in quick.
Appreciate it, Shelley. You are personified professionalism in this space. So really appreciate that. I'm going to hand it back to Eric, if you would. We're a half hour in. May as well keep it fairly simple. Eric, any last words, any advice you can give the viewers?
Yeah, here's all I would say. I'm not a big hype rah-rah guy. I can take a beating. Like I'm bloodied up from just Shelley and Frank alone the last like 2 weeks, and you know, I probably deserve it. But no, I'm just an open book. Here's the thing. I really was done with network marketing, and this trumps and transcends network marketing. If this was like a typical MLM, I would not be here. I love certain aspects of it. Primarily just the relationships, obviously residual income, personal development. But I just was kind of burnt out. I was with a company that broke a lot of people's hearts. Like I had about 1.5 million people on my team. And when you have a front row seat to corporate greed, pride, ego, and decisions that ultimately hurt people's livelihoods, it was probably the lowest point in my professional career. And I said, you know what, I'm grateful for network marketing and the journey I've had, but I'm done. I'm gonna focus on my traditional businesses and charities and that sort of thing. But it's kind of like a virus that gets inside of you. For those of you who've ever had residual income in any way, shape, or form, you love it. And I'm at this interesting season, Vince, and I hesitate to say this. I don't want people to think I'm not hungry, I'm not motivated, but I came into this with a whole different paradigm, because it wasn't really based on financial decisions like I've made in the past. And I mean, we all love making money, don't get me wrong, but we're pretty blessed in that area. It was really more about passion and purpose. It was like, hey, can we do something real that we can feel comfortable attaching our reputation to, where somebody can pay $25? If they want to become a DBO later, they can become a DBO later. I've got over 500 people on the sheet I haven't even started putting into the system as TCMs because I haven't had time, and I'll get them in. Some of them will become DBOs. But it's like, our truth is good enough. And I feel like everything in your life up to this point, the good, the bad, the ugly, personally, professionally, we've all been there. Show me one successful person that hasn't been lied to, deceived, let down, hurt, scarred. We've all been there. In fact, the more successful people that are on here probably relate to that even more. We just keep getting back up. And when I saw this, I said, man, I got one more run in me from a relationship driven opportunity. Let's go out. Let's bless the world. And I think what you're going to find, I know you're going to find this, if you'll just keep sharing, a good message delivered long enough always falls upon the right ears. there's so many people. I mean, we have tens of millions of people in our country, like looking, praying for something different in their lives. And we're not going to make them promises that they're going to become millionaires here, but my goodness, at least you have a chance to be around a positive, uplifting community. You're going to grow professionally, personally. You're going to meet some amazing people. And yes, eventually you're going to start making money. You're going to start making money. Even if you go bring in 100 customers, okay, on your own, you're going to start making money here. But I just hope the ones that decide to become our, innovator DBOs here, the next 6,000, you're good human beings and say, this is a startup and I shouldn't ask for perfection. I just want positive progression each and every week. Now we get to November 12th and there's things you don't like. I will listen to that. But those of you who've been a part of this for the last 6 months, it gets better every single week. It gets better every single week. And that's all I care about. I don't expect our corporate team to be perfect, but I do expect them to be transparent, to take ownership and accountability. And not that we've had that many problems, but I mean, I've actually been surprised, Vinny. You go from 1 person to 15,000 in a matter of 4.5 months. I mean, that would strain anybody. So yeah, we're hiring lots of customer service. We're putting in the technologies to really streamline things. I see all the people, all the processes that are coming, and man, just in 30 days alone, it's going to look radically different than it does now. And keep in mind, you're not getting charged $150 a month. Most companies that you've probably been a part of, what do? They do a cash grab in the beginning. They just start charging people to help finance and the build and we're fine. We're cash rich. So if you have a little bit of faith and you're able to make a $495 decision, we'd love to welcome you. And if not, get a Tranzact card, start swiping, earning those Z-Bucks. So I look forward to welcoming you all to the family, having a lot of fun. And this is the one we've been waiting for, and your voice matters here. So however you choose to participate, let's get in and have some fun together. Thanks, Vinny.
Eric, again, thank you for your time. This is growing so quickly and you're there. You text back and you get back to everyone in your availability. So we really appreciate that. Kudos to you and your family as well. And I want to say thanks for all the guests that came in and all the speakers that came in. Get back to the person who invited you if you have any other questions, and we will get those answered. This will be available. I'll get the link out there to all the folks. It'll be available to you all. And I'll see you on the next one. Let's go do it. See you at the top.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Right on.